Hello, we're Andy the Maniacal Cinephile, and there's a buzz in the air.
Do we need to take a bath? Are the flies back?
What? No, we're gonna review the new horror movie, Sinners.
Finally, a topic I know all about.
Sinners is a genre-defying horror film written, co-produced, and directed by Ryan Coogler, known for Creed and Black Panther. Starring Michael B. Jordan, the film has gained critical acclaim for creatively blending Southern Gothic horror, musical elements, and social commentary.
It was awkward being the only Caucasian in the audience and wearing a white robe.
Evil, we always wear a robe. But why did you bring a torch?
In case someone yelled, "Chicken jockey!" and I needed to light them on fire.
Chicken jockey!
When the chicken jockey scene came on, that's when everything just broke loose. There was popcorn flying through the air, and then a live chicken was in our theater.
Fair. I kept seeing positive things spread online, so word of mouth is why we checked it out.
It spread faster than the chicken pox at my babysitter's trailer.
Well, that explains the itching. Having played in the Rocky and Marvel sandboxes, Coogler revealed he's also a big horror fan and felt it was now or never to make an original film that was personal to him. Coogler has worked with Michael B. Jordan before, so it was a no-brainer to cast him in Sinners.
An experience so nice, he cast him twice.
In January 2024, this untitled period film involving the undead was announced and started a bidding war between Warner Brothers, Sony, and Universal Pictures, with Warner Brothers winning the rights. Sinners was shot in New Orleans last year from April to July under the working title Grilled Cheese.
I hope a sequel has the working title Tomato Soup.
Ryan Coogler actually worked out a pretty sweet deal for himself. He asked for first dollar gross, final cut privilege, and ownership of the film after 25 years. This thing is his baby, and he has faith in it.
You know what? Must be nice to have faith in your baby.
Faith? You better believe I'll put you back in the dirt!
Jeez. So let's see if Sinners is all hype and no bite. Set in 1932, the film follows identical twins and World War I veterans, Smoke and Stack. When we meet the twins, it's a static two-shot of them passing a cigarette back and forth. I don't know if it was split screen or a body double with a head replacement, but the twin effects were always seamless. Not once did it ever take me out of the movie.
Unlike in the Neil Breen movie, Twisted Pair.
I miss my brother. Who am I? What am I?
For 7 years, the twins were away from home, allegedly working for Al Capone in Chicago. But that Chicago wind has blown them back home to the Mississippi Delta.
They took a hot air balloon.
No. Using money either earned or stolen, the brothers buy an old sawmill in hopes of turning it into a juke joint for the local black community, where they can drink, eat, play music, and dance.
Dancing vertically or horizontally.
They buy the sawmill property from a shady character named Hogwood.
Or as I like to call him, Pig Dick.
There's some racial tension there between the twins and Hogwood, but he assures them the KKK is no more.
I smell bullshit.
That, or we really do need to take a bath.
I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't.
Either way, I haven't seen someone get turned into Swiss cheese like that since Ed 209. The twins pick up their cousin, Sammy Moore, an aspiring blues guitarist. However, Sammy's pastor father, named Jedediah, doesn't approve because he thinks the blues is evil.
Like a blues musician has ever made a deal with the devil.
The first act plays out a lot like GTA San Andreas. A former gangster returns home, has to get reacclimated, reunites with family, old friends, and recruits a crew of colorful characters.
Except this Smoke didn't order everything on the menu at Cluckin' Bell.
I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip.
Meanwhile, an Irish immigrant named Remmick is being chased by the Choctaw Native Americans. A married KKK couple let him into their home, which was a big mistake. It turns out Remmick is a vampire, and the Choctaw were hunting him.
Andy, where did the Choctaw go? They never came back.
Maybe they're waiting for a sequel.
Remmick then violently turns Bert and Joan into vampires, and the three descend upon the juke joint to crash its opening night.
Just one little problem. The twins won't let them in. Come on, man. I'm cool.
It was refreshing to watch an original movie, something that wasn't a remake based on a novel, comic, video game, or some other existing property. It doesn't rely on gore, shock value, or lame jump scares.
Like every time I see Neil Breen's face. Ah!
There are plenty of vampire movies, but I haven't seen a unique take on vampires since 30 Days of Night almost 20 years ago. Sinners has a deep story, and the time setting adds so much to its meaning and its uniqueness. The only thing you can kind of compare it to is From Dusk Till Dawn, because it involves 2 criminal brothers, a bar, and vampires. My only real nitpick is that, like From Dusk Till Dawn, I somewhat enjoyed the more grounded first half until it became about vampires.
Complete with red eyes and drool.
I wonder how many times Haley Steinfeld had to spit into Michael B. Jordan's mouth. You think that's hot? I got more, baby!
Michael B. Jordan does a fine job as the Smokestack Brothers. If I had to criticize one thing, it's that I wish the twins weren't so similar. I know, they're twins. It's like he's fighting himself. But they could have done more with their personalities and appearance so we could tell them apart.
They put one in a red hat and one in a blue hat.
The film also has strong supporting characters. The twins recruit Delta Slim, a charming drunk blues pianist,
I think I shat myself.
and the singer, Pearline, who young Sammy crushes on.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
I'll never lick ice cream the same way again.
If you know, you know. Especially if your girl is wearing a cone.
There's Annie, Smoke's estranged wife and mother of his dead infant. Annie serves as the cook, but is also into hoodoo, and they're expert on the world of the supernatural.
I'm also a supernatural expert. Well, up until season 6.
There's the local Chinese couple, Grace and Bo, who run the general store and supply the party. Next is the big, lovable field worker, Cornbread, who watches the door.
I wonder how many bouncers unknowingly let vampires into their bar. I can't see myself in a mirror, but I can see myself in your club.
Stack also has an estranged lover in the form of his ex-girlfriend, Mary, who feels like a fool for waiting 7 years for him to return. Mary's mother also just passed away, and the vampires sniff out the vulnerability like a cult leader looking to grow their followers.
Everyone deserves fellowship and love. And banjo music?
For the summertime has come.
The supporting cast is really impressive, but Miles Caton, who plays the young Sammy Moore, is a standout.
Who knew this was the Buddy Guy origin story?
Miles is a singer, and I was surprised to learn he hasn't acted in much and didn't really know how to play the guitar before being cast.
He probably learned the blues from the same guy as Death Clock.
It's embarrassing for us to even have this grandpa's guitars.
That's because you don't know how to make the blues sound.
The coolest scene in the film is when Sammy starts playing and singing the blues at the juke joint. It transcends time and space, summoning spirits from the past and future to bewitch the crowd.
Somebody take me in your eye.
It's called marijuana.
All of a sudden, you see musicians and dancers from all time periods. First, there's a Zulu dancer, then an electric guitar player looking like Bootsy Collins, then a DJ spinning some records. Delta blues became rock and roll. It became R&B, and then hip hop. In that scene, we see the evolution and history of black music.
Right up to Lil Wayne, trying to play a guitar solo.
Sammy's magical performance is sensed by Remmick, and he arrives with his vampire minions, who eventually find a way in. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a third act.
He'd still be stuck outside, doing another Irish jig.
In the end, Sammy's father pleads for him to give up the guitar, but it's like the song, "That Little Light of Mine."
I'm gonna let it shine. Oh!
It's sad, because until the sun went down, that was the happiest day of Sammy's life.
Oh, la
When Remmick bites someone, he also consumes their memories. The vampires are linked, sharing a hive mind, and Remmick uses their knowledge several times to manipulate our characters. Like how Bo and Grace have a daughter, who is all alone at the general store.
If it were me, I'd be eating all the taffy.
When Remmick grabs Sammy's head and tells him, "I want your music. I want your stories." The film tackles the theme of cultural appropriation. When a dominant culture copies and borrows elements from a minority, like their traditions, fashion, dance moves, history, music, or slang.
Just hang loose, blood. She's gonna catch up on the rebound on the med side.
For example, Big Mama Thornton originally sang Hound Dog, the song that launched the career of Elvis Presley. Her song, Ball and Chain, was covered and made popular by Janis Joplin. Covers of her songs made millions, yet she was denied royalties, died penniless, and was buried in a shared pauper's grave.
Well, at least somebody shared something with her.
It was also interesting that the lead vampire was an Irish immigrant. The Irish fled their homeland due to famine and political upheaval. In America, they were treated as less than white.
What? How is pale not white enough?
The Irish were called criminals and rapists. It was said they were taking American jobs. Ryan Coogler crafted a story that expertly tackles themes like community, racism, cultural appropriation, assimilation, and the power of music. It shows how far we've come, but also how history repeats itself. With a budget of $90 million, Sinners has grossed $163 million worldwide. Critically and financially, it's doing well for itself. I can't say enough about Ryan Coogler's writing and direction, because this is arguably the best horror movie of 2025 so far.
That is, until Megan 2.0 comes out.
The film looks great and was shot by cinematographer Autumn Derailed Arkapaw on 70mm film. I don't have a great IMAX theater near me, but if you can, see it in IMAX.
Just remember to bring a torch!
Not only does the film look great, but it sounds great, thanks to composer Ludwig Göransson. Ludwig performed some of the score on a 1932 Dobro Cyclops resonator guitar, the same one Sammy uses in the film.
Also covered in vampire blood.
Well, somebody take me in your arms tonight.
The music is very important to the story, elevating it to another level. The film talks about a kind of music so pure that it can pierce the veil between life and death, past and future. When Sammy starts playing in the juke joint, they show us exactly what that would look and sound like. It was an incredible theater experience.
Meanwhile, the cleanup crew after the Minecraft movie has PTSD.
He was the one left cleaning up the mess.
Wow, look at that. It took me 3.5 hours.
So, would I recommend Sinners? Absolutely! It's original and unlike anything I've seen. Sinners has a meaningful story that is masterfully written and directed by Ryan Coogler in his first original film. Sinners has interesting characters, great cinematography, a score full of soul, and offers a fun take on vampires. We've been Andy the Maniacal Cinephile.
Thanks for liking and subscribing.
Join our Patreon, hit the bell, and I'll watch another damn video.